From one week to the next, we're back with the Area Cup Series, this time from North Wilkesboro Speedway, a track, man, that got very wild last year with all the crashes from the intense moments and, unfortunately, cautions. Now, we have spoken with some drivers, and some are saying brace for impact, others are saying brace for a good race. A lot to go in and discuss ahead of yet another round of the Season 7 of the Area Cup Series. Welcome to Round 6, North Wilkesboro Speedway. I'm John Ramos, alongside Hunter Sleppy as we bring it to our studios here in Nashville, Tennessee. Hunter, let's talk about the past before we bring it into the present. Most cautions last year, drivers already talking about how crazy things may be due to the setup. Once again, I feel like we're almost repeating from what we saw at New Hampshire. Opinions on that, and what can we expect?
Yeah, from what I've heard, the setup is bad, about as bad as New Hampshire, so that's not optimistic going in. Although I will say, some guys have been saying that the outside lane seems to be the preferred lane here. There's a little bit more banking up on the outside, and looking from the races in the past, whenever we did have some good green flag racing, a lot of cars tended to go to the outside lane. I mean, there was a wreck where Peyton Howell went all the way up to the outside lane and got caught up in the outside wall, but he wound up managing to salvage his race car and actually win the race back in Season 6, which was our first time at North Wilkesboro. So this is our second trip to the 0.6 mile racetrack in North Carolina. But yeah, a lot of yellows. We had 19 of them a season ago, 93 yellow laps, so that's not a good sign at all, but that was last year. Hopefully this year can be different. I will say, though, he started from 16th in the field and drove through to his victory, so it doesn't really matter where you start, just matters how you finish.
Exactly. Now, the big thing to know is the setups are not given to area, aren't given from area to the drivers. These are iRacing fixed setups. Another thing to know, the schedule itself, I found out just yesterday that it's based off of owners when they go ahead and vote on what tracks to go ahead and choose from. The owners have chosen North Wilkesboro to return. So that's something to go ahead and know. Isn't just willy-nilly, let's go ahead and throw some car track combos together. So interesting note. First, if I'm not mistaken, short track on the 2025 season. Some drivers already going in with their head scratching. Currently top of the board in practice is Seth Knoll. Hal, Beckner, and Springer are the fast four. We'll continue to talk with drivers before the time comes to go ahead and qualify. But North Wilkesboro, unlike any other track we've been to before, will be unlike any other track we go to next, with how the track is consistently different from the uphill side to the downhill. Hunter, what have you heard from drivers heading into this race, barring setups, keeping that all to the side for now?
They have words are tough nowadays. They have the idea that it'll be somewhat like New Hampshire, where it's going to be tight racing. There's going to be minimal margin for error, and a lot of close racing. So bumpers will be used without a doubt. It's short track racing. It's just bound to happen. We did have an overtime finish last season, so I would expect some chaos if there isn't any for whatever reason in the first half of the race. To definitely come in the second half of the race, and not too many lead changes. Only 3 different leaders last season. Peyton Howell led the last 50 laps all the way to the finish. And like I mentioned, pit stops going to be key for guys like track position. Kwame Scott had the lead. He had the most laps led and got caught up in some tomfoolery after getting caught up in a wreck, I should say. He led 72 laps, was the pole sitter, dominated. The only other guy to lead laps in that race besides Kwame Scott and Peyton Howell was Ricky Springer, and he started second, so qualifying going to be very key track position as well for the night.
Good to know. For the ones wondering on the NR Night in America side, yes, the only stream once again this week will be the Area Cup Series. I will be in person broadcasting at Toledo Speedway live on Flow Racing, Racing America, and Track TV. That will be this Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Was live just last week at Veterans Motorplex at the Rim for the CRA Street Stocks powered by Jegs. You can watch back on all that action on Track TV and Racing America. So yes, from sim to reality, it's continuing throughout the month of April. And next week, make that next Friday, we will have the Alabama 500 confirmed. It will be a one-day show. NR Night expected for next Tuesday. Hunter, we don't have area next Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
We don't. It's well, this is technically the off week for Easter weekend, so there's an off week for Cup. The Pro Series and the Truck Series are actually off this week rather than next week, so this is really the only area race for this week. And yeah, off week, so these guys some of these guys gonna be going in with a little bit of urgency. I mean, this will be the halfway point of the regular season, so if you're not on the good side of things now, you're gonna have to buckle up and get on the good side of things then. But there's gonna be a few guys out there that want to get inside the top 20 in points. Looking at Sam Brochu, he moved up 5 spots from last week. Patrick Moose dropped down 11 positions. He went from 13th down to 24th, so he's going to want to get back inside the top 20. Now, I say top 20 because if you have that win and you still make all your starts, you're locked into the playoffs. But looking at it now, Bailey Turner, the Area 500 winner, he's down to 18th in the point standing, so he's just holding on by a thread inside that top 20 bubble.
Dang, that's interesting to go ahead and know. Already halfway through the regular season. Playoffs beginning at Bristol, that'll be June 23rd. But for us, after this race, yes, off week. And then you got the longest race of the season. We head to Darlington. That will be April 28th for some much needed action from the area side. A lot of fun, a lot of action coming on the sim side to the reality side. Less than 3 minutes remaining. Hunter, this is our time to go to NASCAR. I saw what Eric W. said down in the live chat below ahead of this race. He said he's going to put $20 on a driver's head to whichever driver I choose that I think is going to win. But I want to know on your side, Hunter, who do you think is going to find victory lane?
Well, looking through, we've already had a few winners this season. I mean, you mentioned Bailey Turner. John Hall won at Homestead. Dylan Nault's won at New Hampshire, and last week at the Glen. Clampett's also won. Still looking at guys trying to get their first win, like the Solar Flare guys. James Skyley, Seth Knoll, Jake Nichols. I mentioned Peyton Howell. He won this race a season ago. But I'm going to go in a different direction. If he's in this field, now I don't know if he's here tonight, but I'd like to go with Jake Matheson if he is here.
I think I did see him, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. He's currently 9th on the fastest lap times here at practice. Jake Matheson, great dude. Races at our night in America. Has fun with the iRacing community. I'm looking at this top 10 right now. It's on my left side of your screen. Will soon be on yours as well. I see Seth Knoll has gone quick time. I'm not surprised Payne Howell is up there, if I'm not mistaken, defending winner. Tanner Betha, you got Beckner, Springer. Ryan Swan is 6th, and he has had a really tough season, at least up to this point. What a bounce back it could be on the short track side. Is Ryan Swan considered a short track ringer? Because super speedways, we didn't see him. Road course, nowhere to be seen. Intermediates, I don't even want to speak about it. But here on the short track in North Wilkesboro, here he is, 6th. I'm going to get bold, Eric. I'm going to say Ryan Swan. I love that Rick's Hot Sauce machine. I believe it's the nicest scheme in the field. Ryan Swan, I'd say he finds victory lane. We've already seen some interesting names go to victory lane. Only one repeat winner there with Dylan Alt. Lucky Duck has already found victory lane this year with the drivers that they have had come working their way through the field. I think we're going to go ahead and roll with Ryan Swan. Swan, 6 currently. I would say P1 at the end of the day. But guess what, Hunter? This is a long race, 190 laps. Any word from the drivers on that end?
Some guys are not looking forward to it because they are not having comfort in the car or with the track or both in itself. But there's a few guys out there like the Solar Flare guys are going to want to go into the off week on a high note. Like I mentioned, Skyley, Knoll, Jake Nichols still looking for their first win of the season. But Jake Nichols mostly because he's still yet to finish inside the top 5. We're 5 races in. We're about to be halfway through the season. Only 3 top 10s to his name. He is 5th in the point standing, so he has that going for him. But I'd like to see a little bit of momentum boost into the right direction for Nichols. If
you love watching the Area Cup Series live on the Idk Player YouTube channel, tell a friend, let everybody know what's going on this Monday evening as we get ready to qualify for round number 6. Hunter on pit road, myself up into the booth for all 40 some odd drivers, an opportunity to make the field. We've been bumping a lot this season. Newcomers, maybe. I just see the same good old names up inside the top 20, 30, 40 as we get ready to set down time. Brett Puncari, he's rolling with us. quick to note, not a lot of forwards up inside the top 20 again. That seems to be the running joke every single week. But you expect drivers like Dylan Alt to run well, who is running the number 47 finally. You expect Travis Beckner maybe to go ahead and make something work. Osman Yonashinu was watching him during the practice session as well. There in 71. Jonathan Evans in 26. Jeremy Miller. Now, I have to ask for the viewers back at home this question. I know I do a lot of in-person, and I always announce it. Hey, this is what I'm doing this week. Unfortunately, no NR night in America. Is it time to finally do a kind of behind-the-scenes vlog of what I do in person? I know before I've done live streams behind the scenes. Is it time to do a behind-the-scenes vlog? And it's not going to be like your traditional vlog. It'll just basically be what I'm doing to showcase what I do outside of the sim. Most know that I go both ways, but not as many get to go ahead and see it. Connor Oprezik knows I go both ways. I've interviewed him a time or two with the ASA Southern Super Series or the Appalachian ASA Stars National Tour. He goes second quick. Cosmin Yonashinu top of the board with a blistering 19.121. Rochu, Betha, Polimas back in 11th. Tyler Nichols in the 21st position. Lee Norton, Max Service and Chevrolet. Oh, go both ways of in-person versus the sim side. Does not need to be taken out of context. John Hall on the loud pedal. Homestead's finest. Seth Berger, Lee Norton. Ryan Swan back to 30th is going to go ahead and stop her right there. Not a good qualifying effort for the driver, the number 20. Find Kwame Scott into the 3rd position. Connor Horn back in 4th. And our Night in America driver as well has made 2 e-ticket appearances. John Hall in the 03 on the loud pedal back to the front stretch. Rolling downhill. So left side of your screen, you see that top 20 will continue to fluctuate in and out. Will we be bumping? A hard question of a yes or no, at least as of this moment. Still time will tell if we'll get 43 drivers to take the green flag. You see Jacob Brower onto the racing surface. Blaze McKinney will join in as well. McKinney was higher on practice than I think some expected, as he has now joined the racing surface. Seth Noel went quick time. That's right, in practice, is it time for him to go quick time in qualifying. This is North Wilkesboro Speedway, a scan from 1987. As iRacing went off of photos, data, whatever they could find, pre-rebuild, as the track was given a heck of a facelift from the end of 2022 into 2023 ahead of the All-Star race. Matthew Bell, no time. He's going to wait. Barroso, same deal. Williamson in 53 will find himself onto the track. Seth Knoll, 36. Can he improve on that? It's been the Dylan Alt Show the last couple of weeks. With him running up front, do we see that change? Riding on board with Seth Knoll. Climbs the leaderboard to 13th, and that's where he will reside. 20 seconds left. Adam Cabot in that 10th position. Hunter, I love doing this. Before we go racing, who should we talk to?
You know what? Let's talk to Cosmin Yonashinu.
You know, we have not talked to Cosmin at all year long. One of the lucky duck drivers, Yonashinu. Always a blast. Known for the paint schemes that he has made from NR 2003 to iRacing. Yonashinu, John Ramos, what a lap. You're in the Fast Four from qualifying for the first time all year.
Yeah, I have no idea what I did. Honestly.
Well, I mean, you were fast in practice at the same time, so there must be something going your way.
Yeah, there were no cars to wreck me, so I can actually put down a lap.
Okay, long
And-
race. That's
yeah,
the big thing we're looking
very
at right now.
long
190 laps. How do you keep this car up front?
Hopefully we can keep the meals on wheels on the American car track tonight. It would be nice to actually finish one of these ovals for once. And yeah, I'm not very confident starting up there. Those guys have raw speed. I just had one lap.
I will say this, I love the projects that you have made on iRacing, from Trading Paints, NR 2003. How did you get your start, and what do you have coming up soon?
How I got my start, just retracing and just like, what do you call it? Doing cars that have already existed on track, recreating them for people to use. It was 2008.
Nice.
Been a while.
2008, so that started on NR 2003.
Yeah, it's all started on NR03.
Wow.
It was hard for me to even watch races back then. Honestly, there were no live streams or anything, and all the TV channels, they didn't have it. My first top to bottom race was actually 2009. Until then, it was just recaps on Eurosport.
Really?
Yeah. It was really hard to find it at any times. And most races would be recapped Sunday nights. So Mondays was always school day.
Okay.
And I had to like try to sneak in a peek before my parents would walk in and shut down the TV.
And then you transitioned over to iRacing. You're well known for designing anything you've done outside of the sim world.
Oh yeah, we are very fortunate this year. I have about 16 different paint schemes in the NASCAR series and Coke. I'm really happy about those. There's going to be 4 new ones for Talladega next week, so peek an eye on those whenever they come out.
Keeping an eye in the Cosman. Congratulations on your success within the community. Congratulations on starting up inside the Fast Four. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. You guys see a lot of drivers rolling on the track. Everyone kind of just trying to figure it out. Before we actually take you and put you back to the Lucky Duck chat, car setup, car handling, we've heard it a million times. Long run, you guys had the opportunity to practice. Does it change at all if we continue to get a consistent amount of green flag laps?
It should, but I haven't been able to because we kept wrecking in practice. I got about maybe 10 laps consecutively, and from previous experiences with this, it will get tight and it will be harder to put the throttle down with every lap. So it should be fun. If we get a long run, this thing is going to drive pretty good, actually. That's honestly where we're going to lose a lot of spots, but it's going to still be fun.
For the viewers back at home, where are you from?
I am from Romania.
How about it?
Sibiu, somewhere in the middle.
That is awesome. And you became a NASCAR fan.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite sport.
Absolutely love it. Cosman, love what you do with the community. Love the paint schemes. Love the fact that you're starting up front. And you'll be taking the green flag with us in just maybe less than 5 minutes. We'll drop him back. Hunter, you've been having great picks on who we should interview. Who's next?
Let's talk to your boy who you think is going to win the race, Ryan Swan.
Okay. Oh, man. I think I said that too early. I'm going to be honest. Full transparency. I can be honest. I have to be honest. Oh, my goodness. Was so excited seeing that Ryan Swan was up front in practice. I was like, yes, we're going to see that beautiful Rick's hot sauce machine. Rick's hot sauce getting great TV time with the top left. You know what? Let's go ahead and talk to Swan. If I'm not mistaken, not sure what chat he is currently in. If you can drag him up, feel free to. But yes. Great scheme. He's going to be racing from the back to the front. Found Swan. He's with Weishart. And we'll hear what he has to say. Swan, John Ramos, first time interviewing you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. In practice, you were blistering fast. Qualifying, you got some work to do heading into the race, but a step in the right direction with how this season has progressed. What's the outlook heading to green?
Oh, well, I don't know about blistering fast. You know, we had a little bit of help with the wall on that lap. Kind of been stuck down here in the 40s, so. Yeah, hey, good pick to win the race, though.
I'm guessing you heard that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I may have had a couple laps
I don't
here.
know about that. I don't know about that, but we'll try to salvage a couple spots. You know, maybe a bunch of people will wreck, and we'll get some decent team points here for Slaughter Sim Racing. So
Hey, the sports
We'll
book
see how it
says
goes.
plus 500 to win. I don't see that as a bad opportunity to maybe put a couple bucks down, in my opinion.
well, they've damn lied to you. You need to add a couple zeros to that.
All right. Rick's Hot Sauce, how did you get on with them, and why is your scheme so beautiful? Because I've been wanting to ask you like the last 6 or 7 weeks at this point.
Yeah, man. So pretty much since the beginning of my iRacing little run here, I was with Jacob Bell when we had our team in another league or whatnot. Ran the Rick's Hot Sauce stuff and all that good stuff, and been probably I'd say close to 5 years now that I've been running it. And yeah, it's a beautiful scheme. You know, Matt Liveries did it. He's got me a couple schemes this year that we kind of worked together on, and gorgeous, of course, but not very fast yet. You know, we kind of banking on the super speedways and maybe some Hail Marys every once in a while, but
Okay, well, you just never know. Talladega's coming up too. You know, we've already seen some drivers that have been able to get bold in those super speedway races to go ahead and try to make the playoffs. What do you want to say to these viewers heading to green?
oh yeah, man. Well, thanks for the broadcast every Monday. You know, nice to see a good crowd whenever we got these races going on. You know, some of them may not be good. I hope I'm not foreshadowing this race, but hopefully it's a little bit better, you know, a couple weeks ago. But we'll see.
See, indeed. Good luck here tonight as we get ready to go racing. The grid is on. Hunter, final thoughts before we go green.
Fingers crossed. Let's get a good 10, 15, 20 lap sprint to start this one out. Yeah, I still like. Is Matheson in the field? Did he qualify? Did he not qualify?
Now, I did see Matheson during practice.
He's 32nd. Ah. Okay.
Pretty deep in the field. We both have
Deep
very
in the
long
field.
shots today.
If not him, definitely the Solar Flare guys. I feel like they're overdue. Seth Knowles quick in practice, qualifying not so much. Nichols, Skyley, they're up there. Quick note, Peyton Howell and Philip Ronan, they have drive-throughs. So I know Evans is inside the top 10 starting position-wise, so they'll have to serve that. Groner in the back as well. There's a few more guys with DOLs, but the drive-throughs are going to be crucial.
We'll get through and ready to see your starting lineup. You saw Dylan Hall and Jake Nichols lead us towards the turns 3 and 4 side with Skyoli and Yonashinu. Row 3, Kwame Scott, Connor Horn. Lined up with row 4, Connor Okresik and Payne Howe. Payne Howe to the rear. Row number 5, Jonathan Evans and Adam Cabot. Row number 6, Ricky Springer has Sam Brochu lined up, and Brochu staying to the rear. Shane Williamson and Seth Knoll in row 7 with Justin Openlinger and Tanner Betha to the rear. Row 9, John Hall and Seth Berger with row 10 being Max Service and Travis Beckner. Row 11, we have Tyler Nichols and Lee Norton. Row 12, Barra Polimis and Michael Curran. Row 13, bring on Frankie Barroso and Jeremy Miller. Row 14, Bailey Turner and Blaze McKinney. Row 15, Patrick Moose and Josh Connell. Line up with row 16 of Justin Anasogak and that of Jake Matheson. Row 17, Reese Schaefer is joined in with Philip Groner. Row 18, Hayden Swank and Brett Bucari. Row 19, you have Ben Pierce with Bryce Senesac. Row 20, Garrett Grant with Dwayne Culberson. Row 21, Swan, Matthew Bell. And the rear is lined up with drivers that will be jumping to the rear or bumped out. Lights off.
Those that missed the show, Bryce Senesac, Culberson, and
Bucari, fortunate he's been running all year with us. 190 laps from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Let's light the fuse with the Area Cup Series. Dogfight to lead lap 1. Jake Nichols to the right wing. Alt gets cleared. And still under fire. Nichols in 73 will not give up that outside lane. Tries to get the run down the hill. Three wide, looking deeper in the field. Seth Nolly's toe-to-toe with Opresic. Uplinger, Williamson, Jeremy Miller. Miller into the back end of the 24 Curran. Caution waves, first time, lap 3. And it did not take long. You saw it all happen live. Jeremy Miller. Drove it in deep, nowhere to go after that. Let's watch back on a replay. This is just the lap earlier before contact. Curran, 24, lucky duck driver. Miller inside. That car was wicked loose off 4. Finally got it together. Was still on the loud pedal right when the 24 was making the dart into 1 and 2. Miller's race car looked mean. See it again. Let's ride inside and catch a view. I mean, it was dirt tracking off turn 4. Miller went in deep and met the 24 along the way. Caution is out first time in this race. These drivers continue to go ahead and work their way around the track. Sleppy question. Last year, North Wilkesboro, we mentioned how many cautions there were. Now, what lap did that caution come out for the first time?
In that race, I have no clue. All I know is that the last one happened with 7 to go, and it brought us to overtime. Looking through, Miller lost it coming out of 4. I guess his line was just a bit too low. Everybody else was running the same line, and just unfortunate between him, Curhan, Reese Schaefer, others that were caught up in that. Some guys not happy in the channel about it. You know, guys saying that, oh, you know, you got to win the race on lap 4. Hey, we got 190 laps, and it was actually Cosman Yonishiwu who mentioned about fuel. This probably won't be an issue, but apparently they're good to go for the entire race on fuel. At least from his point of view, he's good to go. And everybody else still just trying to rattle off some feathers and just log in some.
Good to know. Restart lap 7 out of 190. Alt fired in the box. Nichols on his tail to turn 3. Oh, Kwame Scott nearly lost the rear end coming off turn 4 and will have company to his outside. That's Ryan Horn. Excuse me, that's Connor Horn with Ricky Springer, Seth Knoll, and Shane Williamson. Traffic jam, Wilkes County. Scott company to his right side, soon to be to his left side. Springer tried getting underneath. And will pull nose to tail with a 609 Motorsports 67. World trouble, 1 hard into the outside wall. Deeper in the field, may attack Polimas as well. And it could have been, if I'm not mistaken, David Weishart. We saw it just last moment. Bailey Turner, Seth Berger, maybe they got a piece of it as well. But the caution will wait for the second time. Was it Lee Norton in 85? It definitely was a black scheme. Not sure if it was a pink trim. And, well, now you see it live on your screen. Very much was. There's Norton inside in 85 to his outside. You got McKinney. the track really flattens out down off turn 4. Should we say right in the middle of turn 4. Once Noren got back to the gas, went back up the embankment. The car stuck, ill handling. Watch again. Caution out, second time, 13 laps into this race. Jake Nichols, Yonashinu, Scioli, Scott, Horn, Springer, Seth Knoll, Beckner, Williamson, Josh Cottle, Oplinger, McKinney, and John Hall. They're all lined in as we'll get ready for a restart. Let's speak with Connor Horn. Horn, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, you've been icing your way through this part of the field. Yes, we've had a caution or two, should we say, to start this one. But you're moving pretty quickly. Have you found a line that works for you?
I think any line's going to work in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, you're really kind of stuck to the bottom. I don't think the higher line's going to come in there. But you can run high in 1 and 2 and make ground. I think you're seeing everyone run up there at the front, just protect the outside, because it's going to be tough to pass if you're pinched on the bottom. I think everyone else is going to try to make some passes on the top or with the bumper. But just need to get some green flag running in. I think you have long run pace, but we just got to get there.
Just got to get there. You've had these short stints. Do you think it's going to continue?
Yeah, I think so. It's just a matter of if we get like a 10-20 lap run, do we pit for tires? We'll just have to see.
Good to know. Connor Horn gets ready for the restart as we'll get ready to fire with them in the box. Back green for North Wilkesboro. Connor Horn outside, Noel right with him. Scott Springer nose to tail on the inside. Oh, Springer got loose, and so did Travis Beckner. Can anybody stop doing all today? They weren't able to do it at Watkins Glen. Would like to make it 3 on the season. Yonashinu, after a great qualifying effort, has hungry hounds of machines behind him. Yonashinu sits in 5th. Wami Scott, Seth Knoll, Springer, Williamson. Oh, caught the grass, goes to 51 as Springer, and he'll lose maybe a spot or 2. Cottle outside, lined up nose to tail with Blaze McKinney. Who's back there as well? Barrett Polinas in 14th. This is racing at North Wilkesboro Speedway. You're watching it all live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. Rush hour from Wilkes County as we're 22 laps in to this 190-lap race. Still a lot to go ahead and work with as these drivers work from the single file up inside the top 5, top 7, all the way back to the 2x2, just a little bit deeper in this field. Still Schroeder, still Springer, still Cottle, Beckner, and others. Fighting the good fight up front. We've seen Jake Nichols close the gap. He was just about a 15, give or take, on the straightaway. He is now 24 back coming off turn 4 within the first 23 laps. Nichols looks to dance once more with Dylan Hall. Both drivers hugging the inside lane. Scioli, Connor Horn, Shinu, Seth Knoll there with Kwame Scott. They're both toe-to-toe. Shane Williamson. Oplinger with Springer and Cottle. Cottle on the inside lane, hits the flat, loses the rear end. Springer trying to get the runoff exit. Just not able to make it work. $27 down. Should we say now make it 28 out of the 190 lap race? If you just joined on in, yes, 2 cautions so far during this event. But still a haul in the heading forward. There's Beckner in 13th. He's got McKinney to the inside. Jake Nichols in striking range, but not enough to really make it safe. A lot of daylight downstairs as the drivers run that farthest most lane here at North Wilkesboro into 1. You heard it before when we talked with Connor Horn. He said any lane should work. There's no way it shouldn't work with how things are going. But in 3 and 4, I would say everyone's kind of on that same idea. Inside. Alt 47, Nichols 73, Scioli in 7, Connor Horn in 67, Jonas Shinu, Williamson, Seth Knoll, 3 wide. That's not going to work. Multi-car incident to the outside of turns 1 and 2, and the caution will wait for the 3rd time. Justin Oplinger. Goes around with incident. 3 wide, North Wilkesboro Speedway. It may not work out in the best favor of some. That's Springer in the middle. That's Howell to the inside. And that wasn't Howell. That was actually Blaze McKinney. When those 3 got together, it was almost a bad deal for the driver in the middle. Getting squeezed. Do you get the guy on the inside? Do you get the guy on the outside? Just a wild turn of events. Let's get an update from Hunter Sleppy. Hunter?
Yeah, I was just talking to Ricky Springer, who was caught up in the middle of that, said he had nowhere to go. He was backing out of it from corner exit. It was a little too late for that, but they gave +2 incident points to Blaze McKinney because he came up on corner exit, at least from the admin's perspective, as to what caused that wreck. There was also a little kerfluffle on the back between Tanner Bethea and Jeremy Miller. Miller's got some damage, so he'll be tended to that on pit road. Not a happy camper. Jeremy Miller having a stellar season so far, currently 6th in the point standing, so this will be a big hit if he cannot come back out on the track.
Tanner Bethea. Have I been saying his last name wrong the entire time? Wouldn't be surprised on that. Almost, I believe I was saying Tanner Betha, but if it is Bethea, apologies to that. Nichols, Scioli, Horn. We have a solar flare front row. Any drivers thinking about pitting? How's the tire wear? And we may have lost that of Hunter Sleppy as he's going to go in. A question we'll save for another time. Lights off on top of the pace car. Toyota front row. Chevy Toyota back in row number 2 as we get ready to go back green. Pace car, the hard left. Let's try it again. swooping in line. Yonashinu underneath was Scott to the outside. Williamson there in 53. Blaze McKinney. This herd got 2 incident points, bounces off the outside wall. Jake Nichols, who was hounding the back end of the 47 at one point of Dylan Alt, now takes the race lead. We believe Alt may have come to pit road. 2 drivers already out of the race, Connor Lepresic, Jacob Brower. Deeper in the field, you see Brandon Bowie. Ryan Swan there in the 37th spot, back there with Jeremy Miller. Sam Brochu, Seth Knoll in 17th, and is 3 wide once again just behind him. Hayden Swank in the middle. Brochu underneath, just clears the bow, and there goes Swank across the rear end, just saved it after getting in the door of the 79 of Veripolimis. .43 laps in of the 190 scheduled. You're watching the Area Cup Series live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all the sponsors of Area here tonight that are helping with the greatness. You got Central Mobile Homes Inc. that sponsored the starting lineup for today's event. Then we saw Rick's Hot Sauce a little bit earlier. Hendry County Motorsports Park coming on board with us as well. Toyota, Chevrolet, Kwame Scott, he's there in 4th. Makes a lunge to the inside of the 69 of Connor Horn. That just won't work out as they're stuck nose to tail. Deeper in the field, you still see the 3 wide action. Here's a move maybe by Evans. Springer is still 3 wide with Alt charging his way on the bottom. Seth Knoll will be in line, so will Peyton Howell. Deeper on, Schaefer. Bailey Turner, Mike Curran. Schaefer, Turner, Hall way to the outside. It's the runoff exit. We were talking about James Scioli, what he could do to go ahead and make up time, lap for lap, bottom of your screen. He was making a charge. And then, well, things started changing up. Inside, or should we say entry to turn 1, entry to turn 3. He looks like he makes up a heave of time. Off exit, that's where Jake Nichols continues to master the moves. This is a great lap, going to make up at least a 10th. Or should I say it was, until maybe the final 100 yards. Toe-to-toe, 3rd and 4th. That's where you have Connor Horn. That's where you have Kwame Scott. Dylan Alt slicing his way up to the 4th position. Looks topside, looks inside, and that's what's going to work. Nichols in 73. Scioli in 7. And he's able to make up some ground now, little by little. The only issue is who's in the rear view mirror. That's Dylan Alt. $18 laps on this stint for Alt versus everyone else's 52, and it's going to show. Scioli to the outside, Alt to the bottom. And Chevrolet now has a car in the catbird position with one Toyota left to hunt. Scott in fourth, has Horn, has Knoll. Saw McKinney to the inside, out of Beckner. Dylan Alt will find his way through Scioli. One more driver to beat. And if this thing goes green, it's going to be the Dylan Alt show once more with the Area Cup Series. Pounds the back bumper there on Jake Nichols. Catches the outside retaining wall, tries to switch back. The inside of turn 2, Nichols. Not too hard of a contest. Dylan Alt on fresher tires retakes the lead, working lap 55 of 190. Deeper in the field. Noel has made a move. Scott has made a move. Trying to make up time, make up spots. Jonathan Evans, Sam Brochu. Connor Horn has dropped back to the 10th position. I believe this is the farthest back he has been all race. Yes, indeed. A high of 3rd. And here he is currently working around this racetrack just to his inside. Now comes out of John Hall. Hall makes his move. I remember at one point during the race, we said, hey, Jake Nichols is making up time to Dylan Alt. That's when they were on even rubber. All able to go ahead and scoot away. How about Polimas? There, Polimas up to the 5th position. Slow as 32nd at one point. A couple drivers out of this race. Lee Norton with Jacob Brower and Connor Okresic. Brandon Bowie 3 laps down, sitting in the 40th position. Matthew Bell, the last driver on the lead lap. Nichols in 2nd, Payne Howe back to 3rd, Seth Knoll back at 4th. Single file inside lane, Polimas. Lunge to turn 1. He's able to go ahead and make that fight. A lot of racing still left to go, with now Dylan Alt scooting away. As we continue to monitor drivers, get updates for you. Want to say thank you to everybody watching back at home. This is the Area Cup Series live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. Shuffle of the deck, and we have seen things change, knowing rubber can play a big factor. Let's get an update here on Hunter Sluppy. Hunter?
Well, Dylan Alt said that he's saving tires and he's still moving up through the field, so that just shows how good Dylan Alt is. Everybody else just they're kind of shocked of how long this free flight run is going for. Almost saw a couple of jinxes there. Jeremy Miller is running into people, or people are running into him. He's like a magnet to these cars, so that's about it. Everybody else is just minding their P's and Q's, really quiet over the radio for most guys.
Okay, continue to go ahead and rock with you. That's Hunter Slumpy. You're watching on board with Barrett Polimas, who is in the 6th position. Payne Howell has moved into 2nd. We've seen great things out of him with a time or 2. Howell working his way through the field. Noel with Nichols and Evans, they're lined up as well, which was at one point single file, now toe-to-toe with Nichols to the outside, losing 1, losing 2, maybe losing a 3rd spot. And Jonathan Evans says thank you very much in 26. Area would like like to say thank you to Victory Fuel. Celebrate tonight's win with Victory Fuel. Choose from caffeine-free flavors like Throttle Punch, Purple Potion, or Lucky Lemon. Each can is packed with electrolytes, charged with vitamins, and kid-friendly. Get 10% off your order with code Area iRacing at checkout. Area would like to also thank the High Banks Podcast. Just two blue-collar guys, Nick and Alex, talking about NASCAR and more. New episodes with Area drivers coming soon. Once again, the High Banks Podcast is available on Spotify. Heard Dylan Alt was saving. Now he has lap traffic as he has put Ryan Swan a lap down. Paying Howell second. The real look is for the fourth position as Barrett Polimas is tracking down that of Seth Knoll. Loud pedal to off the throttle, trying to manage it, feather it back on. John Hall underneath Jake Nichols. Nichols continues to drop left and right. Hey, Central Mobile Homes is one of our big sponsors here with the Area Cup Series. Looking for a small or large home, maybe a new shed or a Triple Crown trailer? Look no further than Central Mobile Homes. They've been proudly serving Florida customers for 29 years with a plethora of large or small home floor plans, shed designs, and Triple Crown trailers available in LaBelle, Okeechobee, Clewiston, and Sebring. Head to centralmobilehomeinc.com to get started today. Jeremy Miller involved in one of the cautions that were earlier in this event. Scioli back to 11th, Groner back at 12th. Kwame Scott, we were talking about him and how great he was running up in front with the leaders up inside the top 10, top 5. He has dropped back to 13th, him and Connor Horde on that same track. Now let's say we do get a caution. Well, you can expect everyone to come down pit road as well as Dylan Alt, already proving that, yes, fresh rubber makes a difference. But the big thing to know, if this race goes green the rest of the way, we may have a tire lottery. Did I just say that? A tire lottery on a short track? Well, simple. Some that can't take it will come to pit road. Others that can, they're going to try to stay out with the lengthy time and not too much fall off right now. It's about a second into our long green flag run. Remember, Dylan Alt hit within that last caution stint, so he's in an interesting place right now. I believe it is 42 laps on his tires versus some that are on 76 that have dropped on back. Most of the drivers that stayed out last time around have dropped outside that top 5. The last lap time by Dylan Alt, a 19.218. This time by it will be, last time by a 20.420 to now a 20.429. His best time was a 19.218. So you've seen already over a second of fall off. What you want to see for the kids back home, yes, cars slower, speeds on the racetrack equals tire fall off, equals comers and goers, equals strategy and ill handling race cars. So we're going to see a little bit of interesting things to come. Evans in 3rd, Seth Knoll back to 4th, Polimas is in 5th, Beckner is in 7th, Nichols company again, this time Sam Brochu in 98. A quick swoop in. It looks to make it last. Beckner in 7th. All in 6th. And then there's Barrett Polimas. P4, Seth Knoll. Jonathan Evans. Underneath Peyton Howe, the fight for position. Now, I did get a couple questions if I will be at Rockingham Speedway this weekend. At one point, it was planned for me to be there, but that has changed within the last month and a half. This weekend, I will be at Toledo Speedway for the Jeck Series All-Stars Tour presented by Chevrolet Performance for the points-paying season opener. Once again, at Toledo Speedway. That for the Hemmelgarn Super Fitness 100. You can catch the action live on Racing America, Track TV, and on Flow Racing. That's right. One of the rare weekends that I'm on Flow throughout 2025. So you can catch all of that on any of those 3 streaming services. The racing for the Jeck Store will commence at 3 o'clock Eastern, or should we say we'll start at 3 o'clock Eastern. Will commence in the late afternoon portions of that 100-lap feature. So yes, no Rockingham. I know it was speculated. That speculation can now fall to the side. Last week was at Highland Rim, calling the CRA Street Stocks powered by Jegg's Race. Continuing with a lot of Champion Racing Association events this year, as well as the ASA Stars National Tour. Left side of your screen, you continue to see them cycle through. The drivers that are either a lap down, maybe not, or soon to go. Here's Hayden Swink, last driver on the lead lap. He is in the 31st position. And he got Dylan Alt, Hal, and Evans. Hal in second, Evans in third. We've been seeing Evans really chop down the advantage of the 52 lap after lap. Working lap 87 out of 190, the sun going behind the clouds. Things looking to change. Single file, clean and green. A complete change from what we had just last year with the Area Cup Series, Season 7. Off to a great start here on the IDK Player YouTube channel. The drivers continue working their way around the racetrack lap after lap, being clicked off. No move from Polimas, no move from Hall, no move from Knoll. Nichols and Miller. And Jeremy Miller looked for a way around the 73. Looked like he was going to charge to the inside of turn 1, but quickly jammed on the brakes. Three wide, nearly 4 wide at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Did you think I'd be saying that today? Miller looking one way, Scott looking the other. Philip Groner in the 11 machine. Kind of on that same trend this time, using the highest line in 1 and 2. Connor Horn having to do the same with those tires wearing, forcing himself to run a higher groove to maintain pace. Groner at 11, top end. Connor Horn lined up with him. Scioli, Jonas Shinu in 15th. He's thinking about it, and he has the 7 in the wall. Two by two, 3 wide looking. That's Connor Horn again. Underneath Groner. Man, that car looks dangerous with how it's just snapping coming off corner exit. Gottel, Oplinger. Some trending in the right direction, others still trying to find some type of footing. Let's get a word with Hunter Sleppy. Hunter?
Hello. Just going through. Some guys are saying that, like for example, David Weishaupt before the practice session began, during, and then during qualifying, he said how this car sucks. He hates it. He hates North Wilkesboro. Talked to him a few minutes ago. He said, "You know what? This is actually fun. Now that I know where I'm pushing the limit." So, who knew? All you needed was a long green flag run for these guys to get settled in. It's still majorly quiet over the radio. I think you just made up a word there. Talked to Robertson in Triforce Racing. He said, if we're not talking, it's not that we don't like you. It's just that we've got nothing to add. We're just focused in. So a lot of these guys still trying to just find the groove and find the limits. And then some guys even coming down pit road. I saw that your pick to win, Ryan Swan, called it a night. So he was not having fun. But I will say this, Ryan Swan, he is goated at Talladega. He's won in the trucks and the Pro Series. So just a little something in the memory bank for later down the road. But yeah, some guys noticing that those that did pit, they're good to go on fuel. So throwing a monkey wrench into things if we keep this long green flag run going.
Oh, okay. Well, tire lottery, that's the big thing I want to go ahead and discuss a little bit. What's the tire situation like?
So I talked to Swan after he left. He said that there's no way my right front was at 91. So it seems like tire were really not that big an issue for some guys. Others are saying that it's a little bit of an issue. Guys are getting a little too close to the curbing, and apparently that's taken away some in the tires. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, for the most part, these guys, some of them in the back still waiting for a yellow to come out so they can pit and then try to work their way up through the field that way. And that's about it from here on pit road.
Lot to go ahead and note as this race continues on. You're watching the Area Cup Series in the fight for second as Evans and Howe have pushed, have shoved for position multiple times. Now the Toyotas are wheel to wheel. What to do? Heading into corner entry. Both still fighting the good fight. And for a moment, it looked like it was almost closing in on Dylan Hall. And he just got caught up in lap traffic. Teams trying new things, drivers trying new things. Seth Knoll in this mix as well for the second and third position ahead of him. Knoll all the way down on the inside, just running the bottom groove. And then transitioning to inches off the outside wall. The hard work, grit, and determination from these drivers very much on the highest of ends. As you're watching the Area Cup Series at North Wilkesboro Speedway, Jonathan Evans, as much as he wants to find his way around Pay and Howe, he knows one wrong move, one slip up, and he's going to get quickly moved maybe to the left, maybe to the right, or just straight up passed by Seth Knoll. Best run Knoll has had all year since Daytona. It was week 1 of the Cup Series here in Season 7. 81 laps to go. A couple cautions in the books. That was for earlier in this race. The Dylan Alt show has not changed. Evans P3. Gets up into the outside wall. And Betha. Maybe a peep, maybe a move. That's a lap machine getting quickly to the inside. So no drivers, I believe, looking to come to pit road. The question will be mistakes, and how will they come? Maybe for Dylan Alt. For a second advantage at one point, he is now feeling the effects of the tire wear, as well as everyone else. We've seen that car get snappy loose. That has been really the definition tonight with how these next gens have performed at a track like this. The only thing is, the second you see Alt lose time, about nearly half a second on entry, he gains it all back on exit, mainly because Hal is having to defend off of multiple machines just waiting in the gun sights. You may even be able to allow Barrett Polimas to join that conversation. Just made about 3 car lengths back to Seth Knoll. Alan Evans, 2nd and 3rd. Nolan Polimas, 4th and 5th. Evans looking for a move. Tried to get it on one part of the racetrack. Underneath, goes to 26 again. How to the outside. 3.5 seconds the advantage for Dylan Alt has dropped from that nearly 4.5 second advantage he just once had. I think Hal is so much better when he's not worried about Evans. Evans is there in 3rd. He's looking, he's thinking, he's wondering. No, he's there as well. Payne Hal has found something. Because last time by, Dylan Alt, brace yourself, a 28. Hal 24. Now this time a little bit different. Dylan Alt, a 24.89 versus a Payne Hal 24.47. So yes, we can confirm Dylan Alt is human tonight. Mistakes have been driven at least a couple times. This is where he is on the speedway now, just exiting turn 2. This is where Hal and Evans are. By the time I finished the sentence, they were in the middle of 1 and 2. 70 to go, coming to 69. One spinning and bringing the caution out. That may have been the 01 of Jake Matheson. Yes, it was. Matheson, a loop, a pole, and Sia, the long green flag run, has disappeared. Let's go ahead and watch the replay. Matthew Bell. Jake Matheson. Bell on the outside, the runoff exit. Matheson was planning on clearing him. Just was not able to do it. Pit road, it's wide open, and we got a ton of takers. Hunter, what do you got?
Just real quick on the Matheson incident. Him and Bell, they've already talked about it. Matheson said, I think I was just he basically took responsibility for it, said that he was trying to come up and it wasn't there. I was actually just in the Burgard's Motorsports channel. They said, Hunter, calls a caution. I said, all right, BRB, I'm going to go streaking. And that's when the wreck happened. Came back in, they said, oh, Hunter, you're a lifesaver, man. I said, yeah, well, I'm pasty white, so it ain't that hard to see me on the track, so it's just coincidental timing. But those guys need a yellow badly. I mean, Jake Nichols was banking on a yellow to come out, but he didn't want to pit under green because he said that if he did, the yellow would come out. So he's one of the ones that needed a yellow to come out. There were a bunch of others looking through, like Ricky Springer, David Weishart. He said that his arms were getting tired. Josh Caudill was comfortable in the car. Same with Travis Spector with the lap times they were running, but it's all thrown out the window now. We're going to have an interesting sprint to the finish.
Let's try it again. 66 laps to go. Four Toyotas up inside the top five. Peyton Howell, race leader to turn 3. Noel up top, Beckner on the bottom. Tommy Scott trying to get through. One spinning. Was that Adam Cabot? I believe it may have been. No, it was Connor Horn. And the caution will come out again. Happened all of a sudden back there in turns 3 and 4. Watch Horn in 67. Oh, in 47. Oh, got him right in that quarter panel. Before I jumped to conclusions, I could have sworn I saw Connor Horn go up and get the left tap. Ah, yes, he did. To Dylan Hall. They're right on board with Horn. Riding on board with Dylan Hall. Almost just about hooked them fully around. 61 laps to go in this race. Hal, Evans, Polimas, and Noel will be the fast 4. No, we did not see any takers from there. But Hunter's going in to possibly listen to Dylan Hall. I know you're probably speaking to him, but any updates?
Connor Horn was a little bit upset, but they gave +2 to the 47 of Dylan Alt. So with those +2 points, he will have an EOL for the Southern 500 in a couple weeks' time. So that'll make for an interesting race whenever it comes down to that. Dylan Alt really didn't say much. Other guys were just kind of baffled that a yellow came out that early, but then again, some other drivers were not surprised. There aren't closing laps, but +2 to the 47 for that one. He'll be starting at the end of the longest line for the next race at Durham.
60 to go. Toyotas make up the first 2 rows. 59 remaining. Polimas to the inside. No runoff 2. Gets swallowed up by Noel and has a traffic jam in his mirror. Hall to the outside. Scott looked one way, looked the other. John Hall still trying to make a push. 57 to go. Oh, Nichols wide and into the fence. Caution. Once again on the speedway. We're on. And others not sure what the caution was for. Let's take a look back. Very interesting. We don't see a car fully around. Maybe something to do with Seth Berger. Oh, just in front of him. So incident deeper in the field, bringing the caution out. That was a 65 of Ben Pierce. I'd say almost same song, second verse from some of these drivers that have been struggling to get off turn 4. Howell, Evans, Knoll, Polimis. Can Howell become Mr. North Wilkesboro? We'll find out soon enough as we'll get the 54 to go mark. And we will not be going green this time behind. They'll go once more around. Love the racing action. Want more of it? Subscribe to the Idk Player YouTube channel for more Area Cup Series action. Grateful for everyone that's hanging out back at home with all the fun, exciting things ahead. Great opportunity to go ahead and watch our action week in and week out. No area next week, but we will be back the following week. Once again, April 28th for Darlington. Follow that in intermediate. You know Chicagoland's going to be great with that next gen. It's going to put on a show. He's on the Hendry County Motorsports Park widget to the top left. Well, how about talking about them? Because get ready, Saturday, April 19th, you get to see the $1,000 to win Street Stock Showdown and more. Tickets are $20 for adults, and kids ages 5 and under are free. Bring the family to the track with the family pack of 4 at $25. Come see racing at the southernmost dirt track in America, located in Clewiston, Florida, off US Highway 27. Visit HendryRacing.com. 52 laps to go from North Wilkesboro. Bolimus. There with Beckner, there with Knoll. John Hall, can he be a closer once again? It's going to be tough to beat that top 2. I mean, Howell versus Evans. A showdown. We saw both these drivers fight for positions 2 and 3. Now we're seeing the fight for first and second. Caution. And it may have been with incident, yes, Kwame Scott. Goes around, and this late part of this race producing interesting outlooks. Let's see it again. Just came up into Beckner. Comes to a screeching halt. Turn 4, that has been the trouble spot tonight for so many drivers. And then all of a sudden, now here we are in a shift in the pace of the race from that long green flag run to now caution after caution. You just don't know what's really going to be expected next. Hunter, update.
Yeah, Kwame and Travis got into it. They were, well, I was trying to talk to Travis. He asked me if it looked like he got into him. According to the admins, it looked like Kwame got into Travis. From the replay I'm seeing, he came up into him just a slight bit on corner exit. So plus 2 incident points to Kwame Scott, loses that track position. Unfortunate incident. Coming back green in a little bit, but Travis Beckner trying to make a case for himself, getting closer to the top 5.
One thing to ask, we've been seeing a lot of cautions. It's almost like when you look at the radar, you're in the state of Florida, and oh, it's going to rain at 3 o'clock, and it starts raining at 5 o'clock, but it's the same amount of rain that was expected at 3 o'clock. Is that the case right now?
Yeah, pretty much. Guys are going to be jockeying for a position more. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be even more fun listening to other guys and how they handle it.
Indeed. Hunter Sleppy always giving us great information. I want to thank the guys from area for putting on such a great show this Monday evening. Everyone excited for the finish. So you still do not know what to expect. Yes, Hal and Evans have been strong. How many laps led by Jonathan Evans? Oh, 0, but he's been up front the entire time. Payne Howell, 22, and Dylan Hall, 101 of 46, but mired in traffic in 7th. Can those 3 shuffle this stack just one more time? "54 laps to go for North Wilkesboro." Eric Polimis on the loud pedal. All traffic jam, nowhere to roll. Polimis quickly got back to the inside. 42 laps to go for North Wilkesboro Speedway. They're toe-to-toe behind. Seth Knoll just squeezes through that thread that was smaller than an inch. And Oldstone making a case for himself. Evans versus Howell. They've been toe-to-toe so many times, and Evans once again can't make the move. Caution. See Patrick Moose on pit road. Was it for him? I don't think. It may have been Tanner Bethel. Let's watch back. Yes, it was. Basically already dead sideways down into turn 1. Catching Garrett Grant just at that last moment. A lot of wheel spin on the Betha 78. Turn 4, the second they get down that flat so troublesome, he almost lost it there. Full-on spin into 1 and 2. Oh, Grant just getting clipped at the last second. Caution, caution, caution. You're starting to see the trend. We had that earlier in the race. Long green flag run, really the meat of this sandwich. Caution, caution, continuously flying. It started in or around 50, 60 laps to go. .38 left. Payne Howell knocking lap after lap off the books as him as the race leader, but challenged for most of that in what looks to be the final stage of this race. .37 laps to go. We'll be restarting with 36. Hungry Hounds and Machines behind. Let's give you an update. 37 cars still on the racetrack. But with that being said, only 30 left on the lead lap. Brandt, Bowie, Swan, Norton, Brower, and Okrezik, the drivers out of this race. Toyotas, they have come to play. 36 to go for Wilkes County. Polimas jammed up in the middle. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Caution once more. And a Sogak. Was found backwards in 3 and 4. Fortunate for him was having a clean run up to that moment. Oh, McKinney got in the outside wall and just did not lay off that 88. To pit road goes Anna Sogak. Everyone else, I'll rack them and try it again. Hunter hanging out the Triforce guys, trying to get information. Hunter Sleppy, it's been a wild one. What do you have?
Yeah, Polimas is not happy with Blaze McKinney at all. Had some not nice things to say. As far as Lucky Dog is concerned, Triforce Racing has a Lucky Dog. I'm not sure if it's been Ben Pierce or Ed Robertson, but someone down there is a Lucky Dog, so this caution was a big break for them. Other guys are groaning at the fact that Travis Beckner's getting closer and closer to the front, probably going to be a threat, and he likes to be aggressive like his favorite driver, Ross Chastain. So look out for that 28 to ruffle up some more feathers coming up to the front. And by the way, Jonathan Evans mentioned earlier he had a drive-through penalty. He's in a spot to possibly win over Peyton Howell, who I mentioned he won this race back in season 6. So surprised that he's been up front all night long.
If you're not excited as a viewer right now, I don't know what you're doing. Because Beckner is bold, Evans is there, Howell is leading, but every lap is under fire. You still have Noel, you have Brochu, Polimas agreeing to disagree. And oh, by the way, still the closer from Homestead in the top 10. Hey, Jake Nichols in the top 10 as well. What to do with 31 to go for North Wilkesboro. Evans the heave. Howell clipping the fence. Back there sideways. Dirt tracks it into the wall. No caution just yet. Scioli sideways. He's fully around. Hayden Swank a piece of it. And a driver that we talk about week in and week out gets the bearer of bad news. He's dropping to the rear with heavy damage to the right side. How did that all occur? We're going to watch the bump from Beckner, or should we say the bump from maybe all in 47. That got Beckner sideways. The 28 saves it. Scioli, not so fortunate. Wild things. Let's watch the bump. We believe it's from the 47. Dylan All. Oh, just did not break. Back there, dirt tracking it with a sponsor. Hendry County, the southernmost dirt track. He saved it. I mean, yeah, the right side of the car is probably bent up and scratched up. We'll see right here. I always say very much scratched up. May not buff out, but still all four wheels left on the machine as yet another restart will commence. So we'll get the lights off. We'll get the one to go again. Remember that Toyota top 4? It's now a Toyota top 5. Closest Ford, Cottle. They're in the 10th position. A couple bow ties littered through. Dylan Alt dropping back to 30th. For some, they feel like it's now or never.
John coming through real quick before this restart. Travis was so mad over the radio. He couldn't believe what happened, and Dylan Alt took responsibility for it. But now he's got 4 incident points on the season. That means he'll go into Darlington with a drive-through penalty instead of just an EOL.
Wow. Bombshell news. Back green for North Wilkesboro. Hal trying to squeeze Evans on the bottom. We've seen that 26 work the bottom side of the racetrack lap after lap. Just can't get to the right wing of the 52. Trouble! Brochu around, and he's going to ride the outside retaining wall. Cottle spins. Save the line for the viewers back at home. We'll try it again. And another one will bite the dust as we'll watch back. Sam Brochu, one of the Toyotas, running up towards the front half of this field. I don't think he just got help. He just found the wall. Watch again. Okay, help there. That's from Noel. So back in the day, there was no guardrail back there. The wall will kind of bow out as an entrance point and exit point from the back pits to the back stretch, then to the main pits in the middle of the racetrack. Let's slow it down because I think no, it's even. That wall is as even as it could from the naked eye. The problem was Brochu, excuse me, lost the rear end. And when he was trying to gather it up, the nose of his car was already in the middle of that transitioning point where things got just a little bit weird. And it is official. He is out of this race. North Wilkesboro Speedway has been a wild one today, as these drivers will line up 2 by 2. Payne Al, Jonathan Evans, Barrett Polimas, Seth Knoll, Nichols, Hall, Horn and Springer. $19 to go. Al doing what he can. Evans there in second. No, Polimas and Nichols. Oh, really lost that rear end, and here comes Hall. John Hall to the inside. Can it work on this end of the speedway? And Evans continues to use that inside lane. It's just not working off exit. Only one way I could see it work in the closing laps, and that's if he decides to use muscle. Him and Howell have gone back and forth already once tonight. Could it happen again? Watching deeper in the field, 3 wide, 4 wide, spinning. Goes down to the 29, David Weishart. Is it enough to bring the caution out? It is. And we'll have yet another restart. Watch Weishart in 29, Schaefer, boot, scoot. I don't think anyone made contact. Maybe Beth at the last second. Watch once more. There's the stack up, Yonashinu. Things got dicey. And we're clocking off a lot of laps under caution. We asked you, will we see overtime? And that answer, well, it could be trending towards yes. The viewers back at home say 75, 76% yes, 24% no. We'll try it all again. Ten laps to go for North Wilkesboro Speedway. Toyota top 5. Howell gets away, Polimas is second, Evans in third, underneath. Polimas run off exit, maybe to the outside. Nichols 73, Horn 67. Now the question is, can Evans track down Howell? Polimas before. Toe-to-toe with Nichols. Nichols just underneath him. When running in line, Evans was able to make up time to Howell. Dirty air did not seem to be a factor. With 6 to go, these two sit just a car length difference on the straights. Barrett Polimis looking for his best finish all year, P3. Has Nichols in 4th, has Noel in 5th. 5 to go for Peyton Howell. Driving like he stole it. Won't mean much now. Caution. On the speedway, we look to see what happened. Beckner displeased with Williamson. And this may size up an overtime finish. Looking at the 28. Hunter, do you have an update on maybe what happened?
Skyoli's car is KO'd. He is done for the day. His teammate Jake Nichols running up there. It's going to be a little too tight. And then the top 3, I'm trying to look for them right now. They are in the Powerhouse Racing Group. Barrett Polimis, Jonathan Evans, Peyton Howell. They're strategizing when and where to go, at least for that last restart. Just trying to keep Jake Nichols at bay, with that being the role of Barrett Polimis as Dale Sr. But we have a green-white checker, and this is what happened in last season's race. Peyton Howell was up front. Late yellow came out, sent up for a green-white checker. Gloves might be coming off here, though, with teammates Evans and Polimis behind.
Have we heard anything on... Okay, I guess I'll say it. Have we heard any beef?
There's a lot of upset drivers, but 2 weeks' time in Darlington, no better place to settle it. But then again, there is an off week, so cooler heads maybe will prevail. The admin hauler should be fun after this one is said and done.
It may be a long night for them. Overtime. Here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, Peyton Howell in 52, Jonathan Evans in 26. These two have given us a fight worthy of this great night, of this great event, of this great series. Welcome to overtime from North Wilkesboro. Once the leader takes the white, this race is official. Next flag ends the race. On iRacing, after the white flag, the next flag is automatically the checkered. Crowd's going to be on their feet just once more. For the ones watching back at home, get ready. The sights and sounds of North Wilkesboro, 2 to go. Come back for Evans, come back for Nichols. Can they do it? They'll see the white flag. Salamanca, 1 to go. And if Evans is going to get bold, he's going to have to do it. Into turns 3 and 4. Nichols to the outside. Last dash. The send to 3. Polimis gets loose. Jumps back deeper in the field. Peyton Howell victorious for North Wilkesboro. Nichols second. Evans in third, and it is a junkyard up in turn 1. NR9 in America, feeling victories all year long, and Peyton Howell will burn it down here on the front stretch. Teammates burning it down together. Peyton Howell, welcome to Victory Lane.
Yes, let's go. Back to back here. Oh my. Let's go. I wanted to win this one so bad.
Race last year, a little bit different than this year. That long green flag run and then the caution coming out, giving you the track position. Talk about what occurred in the last 50 or 60 laps with caution after caution and challenge after challenge.
Man, it was all about the timing of the restart and trying to figure out which way. I mean, I was counting down JF, Sam, Barrett when they were up here. We were just trying to get 1-2, get settled in. Jonathan was rolling that bottom in 1 and 2, and I was like, if we go green at any point here, he's gonna pass me because I couldn't roll it how he could, and he was flying through 1 and 2. But yeah, it was the same as last year, so I wasn't as nervous as I was with the cautions at the end. It was just all about the timing and picking the lanes at the right time.
And it worked out for you. That outside lane worked so well. Was it the car? Was it the handling? What made it so dominant?
It was the handling. I had left front damage from a wreck earlier on in the race, and I was plowing, so I couldn't run the bottom. I couldn't restart on the bottom because I'd be so tight in 1 and 2. I just had to run the top. My sweet spot's the middle here, but I couldn't run that either because I was tight. And if you put a little too much wheel in this thing, I was gonna spin it out. So I just had to run the top, run my race, just hope that JOs couldn't get beside me in the 3 and 4, and we got the victory lane, man. This is badass.
It worked out. It worked out perfectly. How about it? What do you want to say to these viewers back at home?
Thank all of y'all for watching. I hope I put on a good drive through the field because we had to start 40th for the 2nd year in a row here. But yeah, thank everybody for watching. I'm so glad that you can do these broadcasts because the broadcasts are badass to go back and watch. Hopefully some of my sponsors I think were watching, so I hope I put on a good show for everybody tonight.
Heck yeah, Peyton Howell, congratulations. Almost that last the first challenge, 40th, not 43rd, but checkered flag, it was all for you. We'll jump to second, where we did see Jake Nichols finish with a heck of a comeback. You were to the back, to the front, found yourself up front when it mattered the most. P2, what a run.
Yeah, I wish I would have pitted. I think Dylan and I were about the same speed. I just wasn't intending or expecting that long of a run so early. I thought we'd maybe, get 70, 80 laps in and then get a little bit of a run, but we just picked the wrong strat for a little while and really had to grind it out to get the track position back. But we had a few scares, some with teammates, some with Jonathan there coming to the checker. We were brawling. We had a clean race going actually up until that. Literally the last 2 seconds of the race is when I got my first incident points. But either way, we'll take it. And the JWR race cars, geesh, brain is out in left field. But Toyota Camry here, it was a fun race once we got racing and got going. It just took a little bit, and I wish we'd had a little more green flag racing at the end, but either way, we'll take it. It's great team points tonight at the end of the day.
Indeed. The jump back was huge, but what do you want to say to these viewers?
Well, I hope they enjoyed when we were racing clean and green, and it was exciting there. I was surprised Peyton chose the top with all kind of team cars or affiliates around him, but either way, it gave us a shot. I don't know if I would have moved him in the final corner if I had the shot, but I would have definitely thought about it. But either way, we'll take it for Solar Flare Racing, Drafty Car, and everybody. Hope everyone enjoyed the show.
Congratulations, runner-up finish for Jake Nichols. Continuing to watch, continue to think about how Jonathan Evans, so close, you're rolling the bottom so well. What more did you need?
I don't know, but I'm just super pumped to be here. I mean, I feel like I've been super unlucky this year. We haven't gotten the results, but just put in a really good showing today with Peyton. and I'm just through the moon. I mean, honestly, P3 feels like a win at where I am in the standings and how this year has gone. So,
with how this year's gone, definitely with, you know, early on, but do you think this is going to be a step in the right direction, maybe a momentum change for you and your team?
oh, I certainly hope so. Yeah, we're still that New Hampshire race kind of, you know, screwed me over a little bit, so I'm going to be having EOLs and drive-throughs for the next few weeks. But yeah, I mean, if I could do it here, drive from the back with the drive-through, then I could probably do it anywhere. So I'm just going to try to keep that mentality, and yeah, hope this is the turning point of the season.
Well, we look very forward to you and how you run the rest of the season, heading with the playoffs just dead ahead. Halfway point through the regular season. Evans, congratulations, P3.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Let's go ahead and run through the finishing results here with the Area Cup Series. Once again, next week we are off. And our Night in America will be next Tuesday, not this Tuesday, once again, next Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, with Area taking a week off. They'll be back with Darlington. Finishing results, Payne Howell, Jake Nichols, Jonathan Evans, Connor Horn, with Jake Matheson, Seth Knoll finding his way into the top 10, Ricky Springer, Kwame Scott, Bailey Turner back up inside the top 10, much needed points with Blaze McKinney in the 10th spot. Miller, Cottle, Hall, and Cabot with Williamson in the top 15. Barrett Polimus, man, he was up inside the top 5. Last lap, 3 and 4, dropped back to 16th. Justin Oppenlinger with Beckner, Swank, and Alt, Dylan Alt. So good the first couple of races. Not the finish he wanted back in 20th. Barroso, Anasogak, Groner, Schaefer, Yonashinu with the top 25. Seth Berger, Matthew Bell, Michael Curran, Ed Robertson, David Weishart with the top 30. Service, Pierce, Nichols, Tanner Betha, and James Scioli, the top 35 final drivers to finish the race, with Nichols being the last one on the lead lap. First driver out, Sam Brochu, Grant, Bowie, Swan, and Moose, with the final 3 cars going to Lee Norton, Brower, and Connor Okreze. Punkare, Senesac, and Culberson failed to qualify. We'll be back next Tuesday with racing before the e-ticket event. Not this Friday, but the Friday after this one will be the Alabama 500. Want to say thank you to everyone that watched tonight and hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. I'm Jonathan Ramos. You had Hunter Sleppy on pit road. This has been the Area Cup Series, and they'll be back in 2 weeks' time.